Welcome back to another episode of Hermitcraft. Thanks for picking this video and coming and hanging out with me. We're going to jump right into it because you may remember this old project, a tunnel that I was working on to take us to our nether storage system. As you might suspect, I'm here just to tell you that the project is finished. As we head on down here, you might notice that there is a turning off to the side. This simply leads up to the nether portal that takes you to the overworld. And then down below and around the corner, that's where we have the main storage system. And this thing turned out fantastic. So there's nothing special to report on. All of the redstone is out of sight doing what it did before. You might hear the sound of the banjos playing for our lay sorting system, but I've just taken care of the aesthetics and decorated a room around here with lots of sculk blocks in the background, and the whole thing just turned out so good, right? So yes, I've been working on tying up some loose ends, and there's not a lot of stuff like this left to do on the server for me at the moment. So we are going to dive straight into building a farm back here at the base. And I get to use my new transport system, right? Love using this thing. And now we get to go swimming to our prime AFK location. This is where we stand to get slimes from the slime farm below. There's one right there. So when I'm standing there, our ultimate perimeter is loaded. This area that we were working on throughout the season, it has all the caves lit up and it has no water inside of it too. So today we shall build a glow ink farm, because of course glow squids, they spawn in water, and this will be like you've seen it before. We'll use axolotls, that's no secret, but we'll use another mob to collect the items from it. So what I'm going to do is remove this pillar here, and up there, that's where we're going to build this farm. And it will be done with glass, so that when we're standing down here, we can look up and we can see the farm in action. That is at least my hope. And now I feel fairly confident about this. Look, we're going to have a load of water up there, but we'll be able to see the glow squids through the glass. It's going to be an awesome experience. And this glass has been perfectly positioned away from where I am. If I enable mini HUD, I created a canned spawn sphere, which means the other side of this red outline. Looks like I made a couple of mistakes, but yes, on this side is where they'll be able to spawn. But in putting that together, I noticed a couple of blemishes, and here's something a little bit cheaty that I can do with the free cam. If I stand in the water here and then detach, it's like I got night vision, and as you can see, there are some patches here which I think I'm going to clean up. And yes, it's hard to see, but I missed a bit. Dang it, okay. Well, I've also done all of the other bits apart from the stone up here. And what we need to do next is start placing the water in, because above this we will then build a ceiling, and I'm kind of thinking we may not actually need all of this space that's directly above us. And if this area is relatively shallow when we fill it up, that might even be more effective for the way we're going to get this farm to run. Now this is promising, but not a surprise. As I finish putting in the water in, we've already got some glow squids over here. And what I want to do next is take a look as if we were down below. Yeah, not quite as spectacular as I thought it would be, but they definitely stand out. So I think we'll probably have a 2-block clearance here, and then we're going to put in a roof. So with all of that black concrete from our storage room, that's what I put here, and it's perfect because it's going to sort of hide the area up top. Yeah, and then from down here, the glow squids are really going to make themselves known. So when we're AFK for these materials, we get to look up and see the farm in action. But you might be wondering, how does it work? Well, let me make it really simple. We're just going to use axolotls, right? And if I remember correctly, we should have a whole bunch of these from earlier in the season. We were pranked by Full Symmetry with axolotls. Yep, here they are. And I think I collected a bunch for another reason too. And I thought that I had a lot more in shulker boxes, but no, these are the little... I swear, sometimes my brain just ain't fast enough. Tadpoles, that's the one. Tadpoles. So we need to go find some more of these, and when we come back, we also need to bring with us allays, right? We're going to use allays to pick up the items. So in water, our glow ink sacks are just going to rise up to the surface. So then where we have that 2-block clearance, we'll have some allays ready to pick these items up and drop them into storage. So this old cave is the place to go for axolotls. This was once going to be the shopping district, but we changed our mind, and now this is a great place to just walk back and forth and get all of the axolotls. I think we're going to use a total of 16 inside of our farm. Well, yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to slab the ceiling up here, right? Because slimes are spawning on it. But anyways, now we get to deploy our axolotls into the water down below. Let's just start off with 4 of them, I was thinking. They don't actually kill them straight away. It takes like 4 attacks for that to happen. So it's not going to be like the most fast or efficient farm, but from down below, it'll just look amazing. Something that also occurred to me, if I really wanted to collect these items without allays, I could actually manipulate water streams up top so they go across one side of the room to the other. But we're totally going to do this with allays. And now that we got to bring them over, I'm hoping I can like get away with just having a nether portal up the top here and bringing them over that way. So there are actually 2 things that I'm hoping for. One is that when I'm AFK down there, I won't be able to hear this note block firing off over and over again. The other thing is the synchronization of a nether portal. I've got one right here ready to go. We're going to put one on the other side and hopefully bring the allays directly into the room. Well, this is promising. Let's go back through and hope it links both ways. No. No, it doesn't. I guess I could disable this. And then I guess we run the risk of some slimes coming through into the nether up the top. But considering that all I have to do now is just move the allays through the nether, I don't think that's going to be an issue. So in theory, their journey here could be a swift one. We might have a bit of problem just pushing them through into the portal at the final point. But we are just a short distance away from my own tunnel, so we'll be able to keep them safe for the most part inside of our nether hub, and then just break them out for the last little bit across here. Phones, iPads, computers, games consoles, and even smart TVs. These days we have a lot of devices connected to the web, and that's a lot of data. Data that can be harvested, sold for profit, and used to influence you through online advertising. If you want to keep your browsing activities private like I do, then ExpressVPN can help. Their app reroutes all of your traffic for a secure encrypted server. This protects your sensitive information from hackers when you connect to sketchy Wi-Fi networks and hides your browsing activity from onlookers, advertisers, and your internet provider who can store logs of single websites that you visit, even when you're in incognito mode. You can connect to servers located all around the world too, making it look like you're accessing the web from a different country. This lets you access thousands more shows on your streaming services. Top Gun is on US Netflix, the Harry Potter movies are on Japanese Netflix, and Parasite is on Canadian Netflix, just to name a few. So to protect your online privacy and get more out of your streaming services, head over to expressvpn.com/Xisuma to get 3 months of their awesome service for free. Check the link in the description box below and sign up today. Right, we need allays, and I'm just wondering, are we supposed to leave that there? I think we should leave that there. Again, it seems they are trying to escape, but they just cannot get through this little bit here. It's doing its job. And I brought with me some shards, so it's time for a little dance. Oh, look at them go. These fellas really are amazing. I love how they just like spin and dance. Now, if you just need your memory jogging, the trick is just to like throw the item you want on the ground. So now the ones that I've given glowing to, they all crowd around here, and I can leash them up nice and easy. And to get them out, throw a few on the ground, give them a little tug. Alright, smooth sailing so far. Next up, the nether portal. So, how are we going to fare here then? Need you all to come up the stairs. We have lost 2 allays. They have just completely disappeared. As long as I get one of them there, we'll be okay, right? Because I can... Oh, hello. Oh, and there's the other one. Yeah, I'll be able to duplicate them, right? So here's the tricky bit that I'm not looking forward to. That they're a pain to move, and now we've got to get them somewhere down here. Okay, I think we got them with this. Just one by one, nudge them through, you know. And then when they've gone through, we've got to dismantle that portal ever so quick. Come on, into the... That's the way, that's the spirit. Here we go, we're in. I just want to break this thing immediately, don't I? Boom. And you're in here, one of you's in here. Oh, they're all in here. Are they doing it straight away? They might be doing it straight away. It's happening, they're trying to pick up the items. Oh, and look at this. They're looking for ones that are still floating up. Their AI may not be the best for this. The thing is, are they going to go look for more items, or are they going to go send them back? It looks like they're going for more items. I guess maybe when they get a whole stack, they'll finally drop them off. And how did you make your way up here? That is just typical. Now 2 of them are up here. Why are you pathfinding this way? This is just sad. They're all coming up here now. Oh. Why? I needed to go down below. That was a wrangler's worst nightmare. Oh my goodness me. Oh, I've managed to shuffle them all down here. And well, they're trying to do something at the moment. It looks like it's working. Well, the only way for me to know now is to stand here AFK and look up above. And we have a visual farm unlike anything you've seen before. You can see the glow squids getting popped. The allays come over to grab the items. Oh, let's get some more zoom here. And then they go and drop them off. That is so cool. It's a little bit derpy though because they're trying to go into the water, yet they can't go down there. So until the items come to the surface, there you go. Then they're going to go fly away and deliver them. Oh, on the other side of the room. That is so cool. This farm turned out to be everything that I wanted it to be. Just something totally different. It's about looking up and seeing in action. And as you can see here, it's just wild. There's so much going on all of the time. I am really happy with how it's turned out. And this time lapse that you're watching was about 3 minutes, sped up to 30 seconds. And one thing you've probably observed is that I put a few extra axolotls in the room, and they kind of made a big difference. So there's a few more of them about. So with this farm being nothing short of an absolute success, I was thinking about the slimes down below and had a little bit of an idea. I decided to tinker around with the trap that we have on the other side where the slimes come through, fall onto the campfires and get turned into slime balls. What you're seeing right here is indeed slime balls travelling up through the world. I created a dropper system to dispense them inside of blocks. And it was at this point that I realised we needed a visual demonstration. By the way, what you're about to see once upon a time used to be lossy in this game, but I believe they fixed it at some point or another. Oh yeah, and something else that will make it lossy is leaving a gap like that. But now the items will just travel directly upwards through these 3x3 groupings of blocks all the way to the top. And that is a great way to transport items in the nether without using water. And here it is down the bottom doing its thing. It just looks quirky because the game doesn't render blocks that are, touching other blocks. So yes, the slimes make their way up through the world. There is a pillar of sand here now. I hope that doesn't get shot at by a ghast. And unsurprisingly up the top here, a bunch of hoppers to link them into a storage system. And this storage system is accessed in my tunnel. But you might have noticed just a second ago that there were actually some slimes caught here. So because of the hitbox of the hopper, sometimes the items don't actually jump all the way through it and sit underneath it and they don't get picked up. So we need to find a ways in which to fix this, but first I want to also include the items that we are getting up the top here. So I have this crazy idea that we could build a system to drop the items like down below, and then somewhere around here with a water stream we should be able to shoot the items out of the side of this wall. And then they'll fall down, and hopefully we can time it so that they hit this nether portal and then they can go through to the other side and be collected there. And this is where things are going to get tricky, so wish me luck. And I should mention, in the time that it took to get all of those slime balls, we filled this thing up. In fact, it's actually backed up a fair way. And I think that means we're actually getting more glow squid ink than we are slime balls down below. So we, my friends, are now ready to fill that nether storage up with glow ink sacks. Because behind me I have built a contraption for moving the items down here and shoving them across into the nether portal. So up here at the very top I've simply added a modification where the hoppers lead into a dropper and the clock that we already have now powers that so that some of the items can get dispensed in the water and make their way to this contraption down below. So the ink sacks have to wait in the water for the trapdoor to open, which it should have just done. Okay, that time they went through, they get aligned at the chest, they go directly down in the middle, and now they're sitting on the platform ready to be sent off. The only problem is that they don't always make it in. Those ones actually did, but as you can see, some are landing here. That's because this thing is actually shooting them up a little too high. Let's see this next one. Oh, that one went through too. So, we can rejoice. Why? Because we can obviously make the nether portal a little bit bigger. You could argue that I could have lowered this contraption by one, but based on my testing, we needed it to be at least at that height. So once I make a modification here, all of the glowing sacks are going to make their way through. And such testing was conducted on my redstone server, where I've moved this contraption up and down a bunch of times and settled with this one being the most reliable And the clock here, by the way, I really love this design. You can think of it like an EFO hopper clock, but it's just laid out totally different. You actually have 2 sets of hoppers you can use for counting. So this one moves 16 items back and forth, and then this one just uses 1. And as the clock itself updates, we kind of detect it changing and use that to power the slime blocks here, and also the trapdoor at the top. Ah, but there's a problem. The height of the nether portal is different here on Hermitcraft than it is in my testing world. And so because of this, the ink sacs would land right here on top of the obsidian block. Not what we wanted. So I went and installed a little minecart hopper here to pick it up. And because there's a 1 block gap, sometimes a small slime actually gets in here and messes with the hopper. But so far so good, we're now sending the ink sacs up top. And look at this, they made their way into storage. But look at this, we still have this problem to solve, and then we're done with this project. So, give me a break. After a long day of redstoning, I decided to do this the lazy way, and just have it go back and forth over a few hoppers. Whoops, so it's definitely going to get all the items into there. And that's it, we're done. I can just AFK down at that spot, and I have successfully concluded an overnight session. I may just need to make our storage system even bigger, because it's full to the brim. But for the rest of this episode, we're going to be hanging out with Mumbo Jumbo. That's right, Mumbo's back on the server, and you might have seen his episode, which I was also in, and there were some more fun moments the two of us had that he didn't put in his episode, so I thought for the end of this one, I would share those with you. I'm also itching to start the next episode because we're going to be building a fascinating project that I'm so stoked for in this space back here. So while I crack on with that, I hope that you enjoy this great time that we had with Mumbo on the server. It's so good to have him back again. Well, check me out.
Oh my goodness. What is going on here? What on earth?
Yeah.
Wait, he's got an animation as well? How has that happened? That is...
The animation on...
Well, no, it's kind of like it's moving like a balloon, but I guess because it's attached to your hand, that is so
It is a
cool.
balloon. Is that just the gentle rhythm of an item in your hand?
I think so, but it's like amplified by the distance away from your hand, so it looks really realistic. It's also slightly sinister. Is that jelly? Like,
it's jelly.
Is Scar aware that you've done this?
I love how the ears like really match my texture.
Yeah, it's perfect.
And so, as you might know, I brought Mumbo up to speed on what's been happening while he's away in regards to Grumbot, the Rift, and the Empire server. And of course, I took the opportunity to have a little fun too. I'm about to get very sidetracked, Mumbo.
Okay.
But we have special features here on the server. Okay, enough of that.
Okay. I must have not adjusted any of my volumes for using this, because that was like that was the loudest thing I've ever heard in my life. Oh my goodness.
We do have that problem. Always with the audio.
That's incredible.
Let's go.
I'm slightly out of practice on the Elytra stuff.
Elytra. Haven't heard you say that in a while.
I forget I'm the only person that says it wrong. Yeah, I'm just behind you. We're flying like Top Gun style. This is pretty cool.
Beautiful,
I've missed doing this.
It's good fun, isn't it?
I've missed doing this. Yeah. It's just so much fun exploring a world that is filled with just crazy stuff and just interesting things popping up, especially when you're not familiar with the world at all. Like suddenly there's a skull here.
Yep.
It's
perfect timing.
This is wild. What is this?
You said everything I wanted you to say, you know, things popping up in the in the distance.
Yeah, that was perfect. Yeah.
And of course, in Mumbo being Mr. Redstone, I had to show him the copper aging facility we built with pixel rifts, and because he was in need of copper, I decided to throw a whole bunch of stacks his way, but then something rather curious happened.
Wow. Well, I mean, I'm like currently waiting. I'm waiting on 2 stacks of oxidized copper right now, so that I can actually finish up my little build.
You know?
Yes! This is amazing!
That's it. Oh, now you got to get rid of your junk.
Yeah, no, you know how I am. You know, I never have a good inventory.
And then we lose Mumbo.
Well, that was new.
Yeah, let me get this right. You just accidentally closed your Minecraft like that.
Yeah. It's Command Q. I'm on a Mac right now, which is very odd. But yeah, and Command Q completely quits the game. It just closes any window that you're on. Completely forgot about that and just tried to throw out my stuff.
Yep. You learn something every day, Mumbo. Every day.
Well, this is very. I'm very, very thankful for all of this copper. This has actually made my build very possible, which is absolutely fantastic. And it means that I don't have to wait around painfully just staring at all of my copper blocks that are just placed around in a field. This is a wicked machine.
You should totally like have a go at engineering your own take on it, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I could probably make it smaller and much more unreliable, which is
the Mumbo trademark.
Yeah, exactly.
Small but unreliable.
Exactly.
Doesn't sound that good, does it?
No. But anyway, it's been a pleasure to see you. It's a pleasure to be back on the Hermitcraft server. Thank you for giving me a rundown on what's gone on in terms of the rift and everything. Now it all makes sense. I'll catch you around.
All right. On your way out there, just have a look. Fly off to the left. There's loads of cool stuff that's been going on.
Oh my goodness, there's more.
Yeah, there's more.
Every single time I fly around, I just find more interesting stuff.
The server's full of it.
Yeah. See you later.
See ya.